I am so thrilled to have our special guest speaker for this meeting, our newly appointed state representative, Kimberly DuBuclet. Just a little bit about her before we jump into the recording. She represents the 5th district, and she previously served in the state representative position from 2011 to 2013 and has returned following this appointment in May. So she is taking over the state representative seat from Lamont Robinson, who has now been moved or has been elected to serve as alderman of the 4th ward in the city of Chicago. Previously, before this appointment, Representative DuBuclet was elected to the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, the Board of Commissioners in 2018. As a native resident of the South Side and a lifelong Chicagoan, she was proud to serve the residents of Cook County. While serving on the Water Rec Board, Representative DuBuclet was chairman of the Federal Legislation and Stormwater Committees and vice chairman of the Labor and Industrial Relations Committee, Pension, Human Resources, and Civil Service Committee, and the Municipalities Committee. Prior to joining the Water Rec Board, Representative DuBuclet served as the Legislative and Community Affairs Director for the Chicago Park District, where she worked with community organizations and elected officials around the city and the state to improve parks and park programming throughout Chicago. Representative DuBuclet attended the University of Chicago's Laboratory School for High School and graduated from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, where she earned a BS in marketing. She finished her education by earning a master's in business administration from the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. Representative DuBuclet is active in numerous community organizations, including Alpha Kappa Alpha, the Links Incorporated, the Girlfriends Incorporated, the Museum of Contemporary Art Women's Board, Quad City Development Corporation Board, former member of Jack and Jill, and former AIDS Foundation of Chicago board member.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and fellow citizens, good morning. I am honored to stand before you today as State Representative Kim DuBuclet. I proudly represent the Illinois' 5th Representative District. This district encompasses several vibrant neighborhoods in Chicago, including River North, The Loop, Bronzeville, and West Woodlawn. I'd like to say I have one of the best districts in the state. First and foremost, I want to express my gratitude for this opportunity to address you at your annual meeting. It is truly a pleasure to share my thoughts and insights as we embark on this virtual gathering. As a woman, and particularly as a woman of color, I am acutely aware that my role extends beyond representing the residents of my district. I have the privilege of amplifying the voices of those who often struggle to be heard in the halls of, particularly down in Springfield. Today, we stand on the shoulders of the remarkable women who came before us. We owe an immeasurable debt of gratitude to the trailblazers who fought tirelessly for women's suffrage, ensuring that our voices can be heard at the ballot box and beyond. For over a century, the League of Women Voters of Chicago has been instrumental in making every Chicagoan's voice count at all levels of democracy. We owe our progress to the women who shattered glass ceilings, securing the right to vote, and leading the way in running for and holding office. Ultimately, it's the voters who empower us to bring about meaningful change for the communities we serve. Gathering here today at the outset of your annual meeting reminds me that effecting change doesn't always require crashing through barriers at every single day. By fostering informed and active participation in government, the League of Women Voters empowers everyday Americans and safeguards the health of our democracy in both significant and subtle ways. Your work often goes unnoticed by the general public, but I want you to know that I recognize and appreciate the profound impact that you have made and continue to make. I remember as a Water Reclamation Commissioner, sitting there as you live tweeted across all social media platforms, telling people what we were up to at the Water Reclamation District. Most people have no clue who we are at MWRD, but through your tireless efforts, you made the important work we do at MWRD relevant and relatable. As many of you already know, and as I just mentioned, this is not my first venture into public service. In my previous tenure in the General Assembly, and most recently as a commissioner for the Model Reclamation District, I have been a steadfast advocate for environmental justice. Numerous pressing environmental issues disproportionately affect Black and Brown communities, largely due to systematic racism perpetuated by policies like redlining. I have always prioritized policies that protect our water supply, improve water quality, and shield businesses and homes from the ravages of flooding. However, environmental issues are just one facet of my policy focus. I'm equally committed to fiscal responsibility and progressive governance. Since my return to the General Assembly as a state rep, I have already contributed to the passage of our state's 5th consecutive balanced budget. Now that's quite an accomplishment. It's crucial to emphasize the word balanced because this budget truly exemplifies balance in every sense. We are making intelligent financial decisions that will enable Illinois to weather any future economic challenges. But we're also getting the state back to work for working families by investing in vital services such as education, healthcare, and economic development. There exists a fallacy that we must choose between fiscal responsibility and investing in our communities. I am here to dispel that notion. We can and we will be both responsible and compassionate, and we are all committed to that. We are diligently stabilizing Illinois's pension systems by surpassing our required pension payments to reduce liabilities, which is a responsible act. And we did this while making historic investment in early childhood education. I supported the funding for the SMART initiative, a comprehensive plan to build one of the best early childhood education systems in the nation. By strengthening funding for early childhood education, we are ensuring all students have a stable foundation that they can build upon as they continue their education. This also helps working parents who need safe, affordable opportunities for childcare. By uplifting our youngest learners, we're also helping their parents participate in the workforce. So in concert with these measures, we're also investing in economic growth for communities across the state by investing in startups and emerging technology companies, with a special focus on women-owned and minority-owned businesses. When we invest in communities, particularly when it comes to economic development, we must make sure our investments are equitable so that everyone has the opportunity to grow and to thrive. But guess what? I'm just getting started. There's still much work to get done, and I'm hitting the ground running to support the communities in the 5th District and across the state. I look forward to the continued partnership as we work to build a stronger Illinois. And I thank you again for having me today.